Hello, everyone. Uh, when did you start believing that wealth arrives from outside? When did that story get written? And who wrote it? Because somewhere, maybe childhood, maybe later, you absorbed this narrative. Money comes to you, success happens to you, someone else decides whether you're worthy of abundance. And that narrative, that passive construction, it it might be the only thing standing between you and what you're calling impossible. But let me shift this before you think you know where it's going. Multi-millionaire. Let's sit with that word, not the fantasy of it, the actual word. Multi-million air, someone who has multiple millions. And the assumption built into that title, into that promise, it's that this identity, this financial status, it's something that happens, something you become, something external circumstances create for you. What if that's exactly backwards? My pulse just quickened and I'm not sure why. Look, I could tell you what you want to hear. Confirm the promise. Say yes, abundance is arriving, communication is imminent, transformation is guaranteed. But that would be easier for both of us than what actually needs to be said, which is this: you're waiting for permission, permission to be wealthy, permission to receive communication, permission to matter enough that someone reaches out. And that waiting, that permission seeking, it's the cage. Not lack of money, not absence of contact. The waiting itself is what's keeping you exactly where you are. Do you feel that tightness when I say you're doing this to yourself? My hands are numb and I should probably move them. Here's what nobody tells you about becoming a multimillionaire. It's not about accumulation. It's not about external circumstances aligning. It's about internal recalibration so fundamental that your relationship to value, to exchange, to worth, it becomes unrecognizable from where you're operating now. And that recalibration, you can't wait for it. You can't expect it. You can't hope someone or something triggers it for you. You either choose it or you don't. And choosing it means burning the story that says wealth arrives from outside, that success chooses you, that you're passive in your own financial reality. Can you feel yourself resisting that, wanting the magic version where things just happen? My jaw aches from clenching, and I only just noticed. Now, the message or call part from this person, this specific person you've decided matters. This particular human whose contact you've elevated to symbol of your worth, your progress, your validation. Why them? Why does their communication carry weight that your own self knowledge doesn't? Why is their voice more important than yours? I'm not being rhetorical. Actually answer, because the answer reveals the real issue, which isn't whether they reach out. It's why you've given them authority over your sense of being seen, being remembered, being valued. And as long as that authority sits outside you, as long as someone else's action determines your internal state, you're not free. You're a puppet, waiting for someone else to pull strings that would animate you into feeling like you matter. Brutal? Maybe. True? You tell me. My throat feels raw, like I've been yelling, but I've been silent. Let me flip this entire premise. What if you're not going to become a multimillionaire? What if that message or call never arrives? What if every expectation built into that title is completely wrong? Then what? Then who are you? Then what matters? Then how do you move through your days? Because if the answer is I'd be devastated or I'd feel worthless or I'd have no reason to keep going, then the problem isn't lack of millions or absence of communication. The problem is that you've made external circumstances responsible for your internal experience. And that's not sustainable. That's not freedom. That's a prison where the guards keep changing, but you never notice you're still locked up. Does this make you angry? Good. Anger means something's breaking through. My shoulders burn like I've been carrying weight I forgot was there. Multi-millionaire status. Message or call from this person. Both external, both happening to you, both requiring circumstances to align in your favor, both positioning you as recipient rather than creator. And maybe that's comfortable, being the recipient, waiting for delivery, hoping for arrival. Because being the creator, being the source, that's terrifying. That means you're responsible. That means you can't blame circumstances or timing or other people when things don't materialize. But here's what you might not want to hear: the recipient mindset, the waiting position, the external orientation. That's exactly what blocks what you're waiting for. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because you can't receive what you're not internally aligned with. And you can't be internally aligned with multi-millionaire status while believing it happens to you. You can't be ready for meaningful communication while giving someone else power over whether you feel seen. The misalignment isn't in your circumstances, it's in your orientation, in how you're relating to what you say you want. Can you feel that contradiction? That wanting something while believing it comes from outside you? My chest feels compressed, like breathing takes effort. Here's another angle. Maybe you do become a multimillionaire. Maybe that message or call does arrive. Maybe every promise in that title manifests exactly as imagined. And you're still the same person, still operating from the same beliefs, still giving external circumstances authority over your internal state, still waiting for the next thing to make you feel however you think feeling will finally satisfy you. Because money doesn't change who you are. Communication doesn't heal what needs healing inside you. External validation doesn't create internal worth. You know this already. You've seen it, maybe in yourself, maybe in others. Getting what you think you want and finding it doesn't deliver what you actually need. So why keep playing that game? Why keep believing this time will be different? Why keep waiting for external shifts when internal shifts are what actually transform experience? I don't know. You tell me, what's the payoff for staying in waiting mode? My hands are trembling and I'm letting them. Let's go deeper. This person you're expecting communication from, who are they really? Strip away the fantasy, strip away the projection, strip away what you need them to represent. Who are they actually? And why does their perception of you matter more than your perception of yourself? Because that's what's really happening. You've outsourced your self perception to someone else's potential action. You've made their communication the measure of whether you're worth remembering, worth reaching out to, worth anything. And that outsourcing, that delegation of self worth to external validation, it's voluntary. You're doing it right now, continuously, by checking your phone, by hoping, by waiting, by making their silence mean something about you rather than about them or about nothing at all. You can stop anytime. Just stop giving them that power. Just stop making their action or inaction the commentary on your value. But you won't. Not yet. Because stopping would mean facing something, something about yourself, something you've been avoiding by staying focused on them. What is it? What are you not looking at while you're watching your phone? My jaw just released and relief floods in. Multi-millionaire. Message, call, all symbols, all standing in for something deeper: security, connection, worth, validation, proof that you matter, evidence that you're not invisible. But symbols don't satisfy. They can't, because what you're actually hungry for, what you're actually seeking, it's not wealth or communication. It's internal. It's your own recognition of your own value, your own security in your own worth, your own ability to see yourself clearly without needing external mirrors to show you who you are. And that internal shift, that self-recognition, that dropping of dependency on external validation, you can have that right now, this moment. Not when money arrives, not when messages come, now. But it requires something. It requires facing what you've been avoiding. It requires giving up the comfortable story where you're passive and circumstances determine your experience. It requires becoming the authority on your own life instead of outsourcing that authority to bank accounts and phone screens. Can you do that? Are you willing? Or is the fantasy of external salvation too seductive to release? Only you can answer, and the answer isn't in words. It's in what you choose to focus on after you finish reading this. My whole body feels different now, looser, more present. So, no, I won't confirm you're becoming a multimillionaire. I won't promise that message or call is coming. I won't feed the fantasy that external circumstances are about to save you from internal work. Instead, I'll say this: you already have everything you need to create wealth. You already have access to connection and communication. You already matter, already have value, already are enough. But you can't see it, can't feel it, can't believe it because you're looking in the wrong direction, waiting for external confirmation of internal truth, hoping for circumstances to change so you don't have to. And that hope, that waiting, that external orientation, it's the only obstacle. Remove it, turn inward, recognize what's already here, and watch how quickly your external reality reorganizes to match your internal shift. Or don't. Keep waiting, keep expecting, keep giving your power away to potential futures and other people's actions. Keep making external circumstances responsible for your internal experience. Both are choices. Neither is wrong, but only one is free. Only one puts you in the driver's seat. Only one stops the endless cycle of waiting for next external thing to make you feel however you think feeling finally feels like enough. Which do you choose? Don't tell me. Show yourself through what you do after this, through where you put your attention, through whether you keep checking for messages or start checking in with yourself instead. That's the only answer that matters. Truth isn't found in others' stories. It's discovered in your own silence. No predictions, just presence. Stay curious, stay awake.